I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. And we've been talking about a lot of things lately, haven't we? Well, what I'm going to do right now is we're going to talk about the people that claim to be the Jews but are not. And the ones that claim to be the right rule but don't have it. They are not God's people. You are. We're going to talk about them in many different ways. I've got a bunch of slides here that we need to get to. And so see if we can understand what we're dealing with better. Okay. We're going to look at the legacy of Esau and their religions and what those gods really are, which we've talked about a little bit in the past and more. But before we get to that, I want to remind you to subscribe or lose me forever. And also I wanted to mention this again, and that is that I have a box of the original swabs that go up the nose when they were giving out the free needles after they claimed you tested positive, and it was all lies and deception, and they were delivering something into the sinuses below the olfactory bulb that sits on top of the ethmoid bone that looks like a cross with a veil on it, or the Ark of the Covenant, or Noah's Ark. But in order for us to look at that, we have to be able to have a proper method, a proper piece of technology to do that. And I want to get this one. And there's been a few of you that have sent in, donated a few dollars to try to help me get to being able to get this. Okay. It's $199. Someone out there listening right now can make that happen. Literally in just a couple of clicks. The links are below this video where you can donate via PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, which goes directly from bank account to bank account instantly, just a matter of a few clicks. And we'll have this device in just a matter of a few days. Okay. Looks like we can have it, in just a few days. It could be here by July 5th, and we could be looking at these. And what we want to see is, instead of it being cotton fibers, what it is it's hollow fibers. That inside of those hollow fibers, I believe, there is going to be things in there to be seen. Okay, we may not be able to get down to the nano size, but all we need to find is the hollow fibers, and we can do that with this. So I'm asking someone to help. All right, now let's talk about the Edomites. And some of you might not know why I'm talking about this. That means you're new. Okay, you can go back in previous videos from a month and a half ago or so, and I went in depth into the Edomites and who they are. They were the sons of Esau, the dukes of Esau. Okay, and biblically, he was the brother of Jacob, which ultimately became the name of Israel. And the ones that are in Israel right now claiming dominion there are the Edomites, claiming to be Jews, but they are not. The ones that are running different countries around the world, in most cases, even in Saudi Arabia, even in the United States and other places, they are Edomites. Now, why would I say such a thing? Let's look at some attributes and traits of the Edomites. The Edomites were known throughout ancient history as a proud, powerful, and formidable people. Okay? And one of the attributes they had and are known for, and this is biblically documented, okay, is extreme pride. Edom was known for the pride of their heart, looking down on others, especially their brother Jacob and his descendants, okay? It's my belief that the majority of people listening right now are actually those people, okay? We are the ones that we've just been cut off from our history and don't know it. This is why we look at these other people and they seem so different from us. They don't have ethics. They don't have a heart. They don't have compassion. They seek power. They seek gold. Esau even named his first son pure gold. That's not how you pronounce it in the language, Hebrew, but you'll see his name here in a minute. But it translates to basically being pure gold like God. Yeah. And so we can look at, and we can look at some things about that. Okay. If you go into, and I may be pronouncing this wrong, actually. This is not a book that I've actually spent much time reading, but doing all this research, I found this and was quite surprised how it confirmed all the things I've been talking about. But Obadiah 1, 3, and 4, I've got listed here, but it actually is much more than 1, 3, and 4. You can read this whole book right here, okay? And it talks about Edom will be humbled. This is Esau. Esau is Edom. It states in the Bible over and over and over. And it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus says the Lord God concerning Edom. Okay? And now, I won't read all of this. You can pause it and read it all if you want to, but it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high. They like to live in high places. They like to live in towers. Know anybody that loves gold that would maybe name his son pure gold that lives in a high tower? Or naming another name that means a great, great person, maybe like Baron. And he loves gold. Okay. And of course, who shall bring me down to the ground? Thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Now, remind me, what country is it that was established and the national bird and emblem and on the money and everywhere else is the eagle? How are the things of Esau searched out? Well, that's what we're doing, as a matter of fact. Goes on to talk about all kinds of things about Edom, okay, which we're going to kind of go over here a little bit more. They're very wise men. A lot of the people there were wise, and talks about wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut down, may be cut off by slaughter. This book goes on, and this is a thus saith the Lord. This is a quote, supposedly, by the writer, as it being directly said by God. And if you come on down here, it goes into Edom's violence against Jacob, and it goes through and talks about, and also the day of the Lord is near. And it goes and it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. They like to call us the heathens. They're the heathens, okay? They're the ones that are going to be cut down, okay? Not us. And you can pause this and read this if you want to, but it basically is a condemnation of the bloodline of Esau, the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it, that they will be destroyed. And they have been in quite many battles because they are a people of war. They are a people of war. And so they have extreme pride. They worship fallen angels. They worship a god that is called Q. See right here? Q. Okay, that is one of the gods, along with Apollo and the other Greek gods and Roman gods. That's who they worship. Okay, the Edomites worshipped Q, their chief god, along with other deities of Seir. They were known for idolatry and spiritual pride. Now, we all know that it is said that the fallen angels came down in the part of the world where Edom was. Right? So they obviously had interaction with these fallen angels, and also the interbreeding that went on with the fallen angels. And it all ties together. It all ties together. The people of Seir, they lived in the rugged mountainous regions of Seir, which provided strongholds and natural defense. They were a conquering people. They were warriors and expanded their territory through force. They took over many lands and displaced other people by the sword. See the two crossed swords? That's from the video yesterday or day before. All of this is documented as well. You can go to these different books and chapters that you see here on the screen. You can pause and zoom in. You can do what's called a pinch zoom on your cell phone and be able to go and read these different books. I've got some of them saved here for us. They were a conquering people. Now, tell me again, what was the white horse of Revelation doing? Conquering and to conquer and to conquer? Yeah. That's who these people are. That's who these people are. Masters of trade. The Edomites were skilled traders controlling important trade routes, including incense, spices, and minerals like gold and many other things. There's the cross swords again. And they were dwellers in strongholds. They like to build cities and strongholds in cliffs and mountains, and many of which will stand out today, like Petra. Now, where in the world right now are they building the biggest, tallest, and most powerful strongholds? Saudi Arabia, for one. They've announced they're going to build one that's like 10 times high as the last one. That big, tall building in Saudi Arabia, in that area over there. They're building another one that's extremely tall, like reaches the clouds kind of tall. Yeah, they're doing it again. And if you see how it's designed, it's a swirling design that goes up just like the Tower of Babel. And they've already supposedly started on it. Luxury and excess. They lived in wealth and luxury while others suffered. They were known for arrogance and lavish living, documented in the Bible. Betrayal and hostility. Edom showed hostility toward Israel, or the bloodline of Jacob, rejoicing in their downfall and even helping their enemies. Judgment and destruction. Because of their pride, cruelty, and hatred, Edom was prophesied to face destruction and desolation, and that is coming. A temporary kingdom. Their dominion, their dominance was not eternal and is not eternal. Their kingdom will be brought low, and they will be scattered and destroyed. So they're idol worshipers. They are into controlling the money, the gold. They're into building strategic high places. They are people of warrior type mentality and pride, and ultimately opposed to the true Jews, not opposed to the fake Jews that claim they're Jews that are in power in Israel, the country called Israel right now. They are opposed to the true Jew, the true children of God, which is you, the seed, the true seed of the woman that the dragon came after, right? Okay. And ultimately they will be judged and destroyed by our Father in heaven. Excuse me. This is another piece that I put together: strategies of dominance and control and influence from ancient Edom to their latter generations. The Edomites, descendants of Esau, developed a system of dominance that allowed them to survive, prosper, and control key regions for centuries and even to this day. Their strategies were subtle, economic, political, and military, designed to gain influence without always holding the throne. And these are the core strategies used by the Edomites. They infiltrated and they assimilated, is what they're known for doing a lot of. Okay. They would infiltrate royal families and other powerful groups around the world. They would infiltrate intentionally. Normally it's done with the woman, sometimes with the man, and then they gain power and control from within. They hoarded gold, precious resources, developed the early banking and lending and credit systems. They charged interest to kings and nations. They financed empires and governments in exchange for influence and control, controlled economic lifelines to weaken their rivals. Wealth gave them power without direct confrontation. All of everything that you see here that I've put together is all confirming information of what they do. Divide and conquer. They've got long-term strategic patience, okay? They don't seek short-term conquest. They play the long 5D chess across generations. They waited for nations or groups of people, which are nations, to weaken or divide. They built wealth, influence, and stability over centuries, understood generational legacy and timing, used spies, messengers, and informants, knew the weakness, strengths, and plans of their enemy. Now, who is their enemy? You and your people and your children. And people need to understand this. I wish I could shout this to the whole world, as to who really these people are. Who is our enemy? Where did they come from? They come from Esau. Esau's mother was barren, and she could not have children, and she was older. And she was entreated by what I believe was a fallen angel, and caused her to become expecting with a twin who was Esau, who came out red and hairy and was a mighty man and was going to be the seed of nations. Yep. These guys are the same people who built Petra. Their bloodline built Petra. They're the same people that are in charge and run all of the oil in the Middle East right now. They've got in power positions all around the world. But God, our Father in heaven, is not with them. And they know that. They know it. Here's a lineage and kingdoms descended from Esau. And it's notated where in Genesis 36, where you can read about a lot of this, and so on, other books. So we got Esau is Edom, all of the bloodlines that came, including his son Eliphaz, who basically means pure gold, like God, and Raul, Jush, Jalam, Korah, and Amalek. Okay, and then it branched off from there. You have Adumia, Timnah, Alma, and Zepho. And there's your biblical references, so you can go read about those as you want. Okay, and then branched off from there to the Nabateans and the Herod the Great, the Herodian dynasty, some early Christian influence, Arab tribes, and European royal houses. They infiltrated and assimilated everywhere they went. They conquered by assimilation and infiltration. There's some other Edomite clans and kingdoms: Amalekites, the Horites, the Zarahites, the kingdoms of Basra, the kingdom of Edom, of course, and the Arabian tribes, like I mentioned. Decline and assimilation: the Roman conquest, destruction of Petra, dispersal and assimilation. Influence continues, and here they are today. Even today, still with us, still living in high places, surrounding themselves by luxury, claiming that they are great, and everything they do is great, and that they can do anything they want. And as long as you believe that, they'll get away with it. Now, this is where all of the descendants kind of, from the beginning, kind of branched out and spread it from. Here's another depiction of that going as well, showing how they, like the lineage that's in Spain and in England, sitting up there on the crown. This is all the same people. They're the Edomites. They were from Esau, okay, who, again, I believe was a fallen angel entreating with a woman, making her have basically a son of Satan. Yeah, I said it. Yep, unfortunately. But when you've studied and seen as much as I have, it starts to come together. Starts to come together. You see, I have all these things notated as to where in the Bible you can find information about this, or where some of this stuff came from, okay? Genesis 36:6, from 36:1. From one man, many nations and people emerged. Their legacy remains throughout history, and they're still doing the same behaviors that they were doing back then. Let's talk about their gods, okay? They don't worship the Most High, okay? They worship the gods of this world that they can gain power from, that they can gain wisdom from, they can gain technology from. You see here's Q, and Q, I've mentioned it before, but Q is a direct reference to, let me see, where's it at here? This. Remember this? And I know I showed a few of y'all guys before, but a direct reference to Q. This is what this is about. The red-faced man, and Edom means red, and he's wearing red and has red on his face, and he has, see, where'd it go? Nope, not that one. Yeah, that one. There's another picture I was looking for. What did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it for now. And this is tied somehow. This is just a piece of research information that researching all the different names from every country and region in the world that they called what's called Sasquatch or Bigfoot, because they have names for them throughout the entire world. And so I'm putting that together because unfortunately it's tied. It's tied somehow. I just ain't got it completely figured out yet. Oh, there's the picture I was looking for. Got blood on his hands. Yep. He's got blood on his hands. This is symbolic. He's telling you. He knows that blood's on his hands. He's telling you. He's also telling you by the color of the makeup he puts on his face, the orange, red look. He's telling you something else. He's telling you he's Edom. He's red-faced. He's wroth. They're mad, but he's telling you through symbolism that who he is, and what he stands for. It's not an accident. Now, of course, Mr. T and the Edomites, they worship Apollo, Ashtoreth, Moloch, Baal, Dershera. They worship all these gods, but these are fallen angels. They're called Greek myths, Greek gods, this, that, Roman gods. It's just the same thing. It's the fallen angels. They all have the same attributes. Okay? They all have the same attributes. Like Q is the chief god, and that's Samyaza. Okay? He's the prince of the watchers, associated with ruling, authority, rebellion, and teaching. You can read that in Enoch 6:7 and Jude 1:6. Then you've got Apollo over here. Then you've got Arakel, the angel of the sun, associated with healing, sorcery, and astronomy. That's Apollo. They call him Apollo. The fallen angel's name, according to the book of Enoch, is Arakel. Astaroth, goddess, female, one of the watchers who tempted humans and taught them corruption. Moloch is Azazel, scapegoat figure associated with desert, judgment, and impurity. Remember, they would sacrifice their children to Moloch. And Baal, the lord of the storms, thunder, rain, and agriculture, protector in battle. And his name is Satel, associated with storms, warfare. Who was it told us there's a storm coming, or this might be the calm before the storm? They're tied in with all of these gods. And this is who they're working with. Deshera, Zaphkuel, prince of the air, works against righteousness from the heavens. This is who we're dealing with, guys. I hope you understand that. I hope you can see it, because I don't believe I'm wrong. I don't believe I'm wrong. See, I've got another little chart here. Parallels between Apollo and Donald Trump. All the murals that are in Donald Trump's high place where he lives in, with gold all over everything, with Apollo all over the walls and ceilings. He's got the same design of his pillars, and everything in there is designed based off of Petra. Okay? The same gods that were worshipped in Petra are being worshipped in Trump Tower. He's got the golden arrow tip that Apollo carried as a symbol on his coat of arms. He's got the lyre that sits on Trump's desk. You can zoom in and read all these. Apollo was the truth revealer as well. And Trump has Truth Social. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same stuff. And they live in luxury. They're obsessed with winning, victory, and glory. Apollo is obsessed with victory and glory, archery and arrows, civilization builder, patron of youth, favorite of the people, divine favor and destiny, music and the lyre, sender of plague, purifier and healer. Who do we know brought out a plague? Operation Warp Speed, kingly power, prophecy and oracles, Truth Social, God of light and sun. Everything Trump does is covered in gold, basically. It's as obvious as the nose on our face. As obvious as the nose on our face. I wouldn't have the time to put all these things together if it weren't for y'all guys and your support. I'm hoping that y'all guys are going to, at a minimum, help me get that, what I need right here. This guy right here. I need somebody to step up, because I can't do this without you guys, and you guys can't do, how should I phrase it? Y'all guys, I just can't do it without y'all guys, but let's just leave it at that. I need y'all guys to help me. It's only $200. That ain't too much. And I know somebody listening right now could snap their fingers and it's done. Okay. I'm also trying to find a truck right now. And I showed this one the other day, and no, I ain't trying to get something that's perfectly perfect and all this like this. This is just an example photo that I pulled up, and it's a Toyota Tundra. If I could get an 07 Toyota Tundra with about 200,000 miles on it, I'd be ecstatic. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to look for. I have someone who offered to match me dollar for dollar, up to $6,000. So any funds that I can raise, which I'm looking for pledges when it comes to the truck. I'm not looking for you to send me the money. I'm looking for you to say, hey, I've got $100, or hey, I've got $1,000. Whatever it is, you can let me know. You can do that simply by texting me. Okay. There's my number right there. So you can text me, 843-284-3343. And hopefully by this time, the next time you hear a video, I will have ordered this unit. Hopefully. Well, make sure to say thanks to everyone who has supported my work through this month already. Y'all guys are very generous, and I really greatly appreciate it. Diane M, Vonda S, got a couple of anonymouses this month. Gerald K, Gary B, thank you very much, Gary. Anthony E, Linda B, Robin W, Sandra R, Brandy E, Julie M, Karen J, Robin W, another anonymous, Saba M, Chris M, Gerald K, Diane A, Brandy E, a couple more anonymouses, and Billy W and Paul M. And I've got to update my extra that I normally run at the end of the shows to be more accurate. I've got to go back through and make sure everything's correct now, you might say, on who are producers. The way you're producers, if you just donate any amount consistently each month, it doesn't have to be the same amount. It can change from $10 to $1, or from $1 to $50. It doesn't matter. Because I think y'all guys, you're here and you enjoy my work. So I think you appreciate it. And this is all I do. This is all I've done for 16 years. So enough said. Hope you got something out of the information today because I put a lot of work into this. And if you want to see these slides, I share them on my community page on YouTube. Pretty much most of the ones that I come up with, I share there. So I haven't shared this one yet, but I'll try to do that here a little bit later today once I get off of here. Okay. And maybe one or two more. All right. I love you, and we'll see you. Oh, you never know. Maybe tomorrow, the next day, something like that. Bye-bye for now.
I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority.